What you hear is the sound of a V12 liquid-cooled engine designed by Rolls-Royce, known as the Merlin, with over 1,400 horsepower and up to over 1,700 horsepower at takeoff. The V12 engine was also used in the Hawker Hurricanes and the Supermarine Spitfires. The initial engine in the Mustang airframe was an Allison engine. It didn't perform well enough at high altitude, but when the British paired that airframe with that incredible Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, the Mustang, as we know, was born. That's Scott Scooter Yoke. Way to go, Scooter! We'll hear some great sound from that airplane in just a little bit. By the way, if you noticed, he was snaking back and forth along the runway. He can't see or on the taxiway, he can't see directly in front of himself, so he pushes on the right rudder, looks out the left, makes sure he's okay, then pushes on the left rudder pedal, looks out the right side, makes sure he's okay, and he snakes his way all the way down to the runway for takeoff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take a look at the aircraft out in front of you. Mitch Buckley is the pilot. Goes out to the back course. He'll be back in a few minutes. Mitch Buckley has been flying radio-controlled airplanes for almost 25 years. Doing a 1/4 clover loop. Watch him as he dives back down towards Show Center. One of 15,000 plus P-51 Mustangs that were built during World War II, initially for the Royal Air Force. One of the things that made the P-51 Mustang the amazing performer that it is was something that they knew about when the president of North America, Dutch Kindleberger, and his design team told the Royal British Purchasing Commission that they could build a new airplane in 120 days. And the shape of the wing was called laminar flow, very fast. Completing a loop down to the right-hand side. Scott Yoke, a young man from West Virginia. In 2008, Scott Yoke graduated from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in day 2, 3, 4 to knife edge, 5, 6, 7, inverted, 9, 10, 11, knife edge, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Let's hear it for Scott Yoke. Those invasion stripes that were painted on all Allied aircraft during that D-Day invasion were put on the airplanes because they would help avoid friendly fire. They didn't want our own folks on the ground shooting at our own airplanes. Next maneuver, a high G turn. Watch Scooter as he feels a 4.5 times the pull of gravity in the minimum radius turn. He puts that aircraft into almost 90 degrees of bank and sucks that stick right back into his lap. He weighs 4.5 times his normal body weight throughout this turn. Is that an awesome sound or what? It's liquid cooled. It has a radiator just like your car. And the radiator scoop is underneath the fuselage of the aircraft. Early in the design of the Mustang, they had problems with turbulence of air flowing into that radiator scoop. So they did something that took care of that burble, if you will, and they created a space between the bottom of the fuselage and the top of that intake, about 1 3/4 inches of separation between the top of the intake and the bottom of the fuselage, called a gutter. And that same piece of technology wound up This is a 5-point roll every 72.5 degrees. Now that's a challenge as he pays homage to each of the branches of our military service. The Army, the Air Force, the Marines, Navy, and of course the Coast Guard. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as Scooter continues to perform, I want you to listen a little bit to a song that was brought to us in an air show about 16 years ago outside Nashville, Tennessee. A guy by the name of Dwayne O'Brien walked up to us in an air show and said, "Hi, I'm Dwayne. I'm with the band Little Texas. I wrote a song about the pilots and the airplanes from World War II and the freedom they won for us." We liked it. We've been playing it ever since, and for many years it was the anthem of the United States Air Force's Heritage Flight Program. We get a chance to play it. We do every time we can. And as the Quicksilver P-51 Mustang approaches from the right, I'll tell you maybe a little bit more of the significance of the paint job, but please listen to the music and the words of Dwayne O'Brien as he honors the airmen who fought for our freedom. We remember.
To those who lay to fight, who have served their country in the sky, with a grateful heart and watchful eye. Such a burden brings when we keep them flying, so that all who see them
the soldier and not the poet who has given us freedom of speech. It is the soldier and not the reporter who has given us freedom of the press. It is the soldier and not the campus organizer who has given us the freedom to demonstrate. And it is the soldier who salutes the flag, and who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who gives the protester the right to burn the flag. Airplanes at the beginning of World War II to over 300,000 airplanes at the end of the war. The men and women who served here at stateside and across the ocean during World War II, they deserve our round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please honor the men and women who have served our country. Here comes Scott Scooter Yoke. While Attending school at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Scott obtained his commercial single and multi-engine land, single-engine sea, flight instructor, and airframe and power plant mechanics licenses. And in between all of the school flying, he billed hours by towing banners and instructing in the family T6 Texan before checking out in the P-51 at the age of 20. This P-51 is a celebration of our nation's armed forces. Every aspect of the paint scheme represents the veil of protection that our armed forces give us.